What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So I found myself trying to tackle this project in several different avenues and angles without any real plan devised. So I need to make that plan. In order to do that, I gotta be able to get this car pushed back over here, which is easy, but then I gotta figure out what to do with all these parts so I can actually get the Infinity back in here to work on it. And the only place I have to put these is inside there. But before I put anything inside here, I want this to be clean. So we're gonna take the seats out, shop vac them out, soak them down with some carpet cleaner, scrub them, same thing with the carpets. We're gonna get the trunk cleaned out. I know you saw previously there's a bunch of stuff in here from the previous owner when he tried to rebuild the motor the first time. Anything I know I'm gonna need and put it on a shelf somewhere just to hold on to. So I'm gonna go ahead and stop talking, get some cameras and tripods set up in different places and get started. As you can see from leaning on it with my hand to scrub, there is definitely more in this carpet that I'm gonna be able to get out with a brush and a shop vac. So the carpets have to come out. Looks like somebody probably spilled oil or something in here. I don't know. I'll get that out for now, get the back seat undone, and then I'll go from there. Under the carpet was relatively clean. There are spots that need some rust prevention, so I will hit those up after I get the carpet sprayed down and it's sitting out in the sun to dry, mainly here and back on the seats back here and over there, so not too bad. All right, so after about an hour of cleaning this carpet, once the dirty water stopped flowing out of it and the water was clear again, I went ahead and quit with the pressure washer and the super clean. I let it dry off, and then I started hitting it with some LA's Totally Awesome carpet cleaner, try to knock out some of these stains. That didn't do anything. So I went and switched it up, went with some Shout Auto can remover, and I went through the whole can. Heavy stains were lifted, but there's still some residual staining. But since it smells clean and feels clean, I'll go ahead and just leave it where it's at and put it back in the car as is once it's dry. If anybody in the comments has any idea of how I could get these stains lifted, go ahead and drop it down there and try whatever's recommended with it in the car. I did pull this out of the green car. It was filthy. The Totally Awesome carpet cleaner did do a number on this and it cleaned it up really well, so I was happy about that. Next, I'm gonna go ahead and clean the seats with upholstery cleaner. I already vacuumed them down, so I'm just gonna mist the whole thing down, let it sit for a couple minutes, and then dry it off with the towels, and then let these seats dry thoroughly on their own. Seats are in really good shape for a 20-year-old car. I know the side bolsters could use some work, but I think if I go get some foam from like Joann's or somewhere and just carve it down to the size that it needs to be, I could probably stuff this back up and then put the seat back together and it should be fine. But that'll be a project for another day because I wanna get this interior put back in so I can move on. One thing I did find while I was doing this was one of the two center console carpet pieces. So since they clearly separated, I'm gonna have to scuff this back down, hit this and the carpet with some weldwood adhesive glue, and then I'll put these back together and that will be as good as new. So I only gotta worry about getting one of these now. So I'm gonna go ahead and knock that out, and then once that's done, we'll move straight into the interior and getting those rust spots that I showed you earlier treated, so that way we can get the carpet put back in and get the interior back together again. 2 to 3 coats, 5 minutes apart. I'm gonna let these set up for about 15 minutes so they can semi-cure to attack before I actually take this and apply it into the carpet. I got the glue applied to the back on the carpet and on the trim panel. Let that harden and cure up for about 15 minutes, get it nice and tacky. Press those down, and then this piece will be done. All right, so for the rust, the plan is to hit it with the scuff pad to break down as much of it as possible and remove it. Then we'll take a new clean brush and some Loctite rust resolver. We'll spread that out onto the pieces that are rusted in the inside. Let that sit for about 15-20 minutes, and then we'll wipe it down, clean everything off, and then we'll spray it with the 2-in-1 Rust Reform and Seal. And that should treat the rust that's in there now and prevent it from coming back. Alrighty, so the rust dissolver is doing its thing on all the areas that were rusty. I'll leave this in here for about 5 to 10 minutes, then I'll come back through with the water and rinse everything off, dry it again, and then we'll hit it with the spray protectant, and then this should be good. So since I'm waiting for an hour for that paint and reform to dry, I'm gonna go ahead and clean out the trunk back here, so that way I can give it the same treatment as I did the cabin. All the little bits and pieces I'll throw in the box. Everything I'm gonna use, I'll take over and I'll degrease on that tarp over there, and then we'll get this trunk cleaned up so I can get the carpet put back in. As you can see, went ahead and gutted the entire trunk, got it all cleaned out 100%. Got the entire floor pan coated in the rust preventer, which looks awesome. Now I'm gonna go ahead and put the interior panels back in now they've been cleaned, and then show you the completed trunk. Not to mention, also got that hole filled. Ended up using a 2-inch washer, JB welded the washer in place, and then once it dried, put another layer of JB weld around the washer itself to seal it, and then put a rubber cap in the center. So overall, everything's sealed and time to go back together. All right, there is everything installed once more. I do have the carpet, which is sitting right here. All I gotta do is drop that in there and the trunk will be done. Not really certain if that's how it's supposed to fit or what the deal is, but like up here in the corner, it just does not wanna, there's a little box there and I'm not really sure what that's about, but it definitely won't sit flat. But I mean, it is what it is. It's in there and the trunk is all one piece again. So I can start moving some of these small items into the trunk to store them and then close this thing down so I can start working on the body. You may have noticed when I was cleaning the carpet that I ripped a lot of the jute padding off the carpet because it was soaked in oil. As a result, I also pulled all of the jute fabric out of the cabin that wasn't hooked to the carpet. So everything in here has been sprayed down and it's been cleaned off. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna take carpet under padding that I got from just a generic carpet store. I'm gonna trace the templates out for this, spray tack glue these with a light tack glue, and then put my carpet back in. So I'll still have my sound deadening properties, and the padding, it'll just be a different material. But yeah, interior's ready to go. So I'm gonna go ahead and set the camera up, my templates traced out, and get everything reinstalled back in the cabin. All right, so that's gonna do it for this one. Car's all clean. I can now get all these random pieces that I have over here that are cleaned up, just sitting around, put it back in the car to free up some floor space and move on with further projects. Everything that I used for this project, links will be in the description, from the Purple Power for the small parts to clean, the degreaser for super clean for the pressure washing, Loctite rust dissolver, Rust and Reform by Rust-Oleum, and the Wellwood contact cement to glue my carpeting to my trim. As I went along the car, I found areas that needed to be sanded. I used my 3M paint and rust stripping pad, and for any broken clips or retainers, I pulled them from the Moveland clip and fastener kit that I bought a while back that came with the panel removing tools. So if you need any of these components, now that you've seen me use them and they work well, the links will be in the description below. So with that said, if you're new to the channel, please like and share and subscribe if you would like to. If you've been subscribed and you're still sticking around watching the content, I appreciate you, I thank you, and I will see you on the next one.